Hey guys, it's B Taylor TV and welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, thanks for joining me. Today is going to be a little complicated. It's complicated episode 4 of Crazy in Love with Chrisean Rock and Blueface. And y'all, when I tell you this episode was so disturbing, it's an understatement. Like, I can't even explain how I feel right now doing this video. Like, I just got through watching the episode and this is going to be my fresh reaction. I do have some notes with me because there were some things that just disturbed my soul, y'all. So I'm going to just go ahead and get into everything of what I just got through watching. Basically, all in all, Blueface definitely admitted to whooping Chrisean Rock's assonance, okay? So let's go back to the beginning where the episode ended from episode 3 to 4. She was crying outside of court because her and Blueface got into it. Instead of him being there to support her through this, like, he was out in Vegas having fun, of course, probably cheating on her. She even said it herself. I'm pretty sure he's out there cheating with other women. So she's upset and they get into it, and he blocks her and takes down her photos off his Instagram, which basically antagonizing her, making her feel some type of way. And she was like, he's trying to get my attention and it's working. He's trying to make me feel some type of way and it's working. So she hops on a plane, travels back to Los Angeles with her friend who, can we just say how much he is just like an enabler? Because she was just talking about how he blocked her, and she said, like, I lost a tooth over him. He called her the B word. And then he also tried to use her family the fight that he had with her dad and family against her. And she was like, well, what do you expect? Like, you're a father yourself. You would act that way over your daughter too. Like, it is what it is. Don't hold me to it. So she says she's going to go out. Once she got back to LA, I'm going to just say one thing. It didn't look like she took a bath. She hopped right off that flight and from Baltimore to LA and got dressed and went out. It didn't look like she did her makeup in the car. She was like, yeah, I'm about to go out. I'm going to find me a rich, fine man. Not no broke dude. I'm gonna find like somebody fine and rich. So she went out with this girl, DJ something. She's like one of her friends. And they were out drinking and partying. And of course, she was kissing another female, having fun in the club. But whoever this friend is, this guy friend, he is an enabler. Because she was like, she basically said, like, Blue don't like me. And he was like, he like you. I'm like, dude, seriously? Like, is nobody trying to tell her the truth? Okay, cool. So she's out drinking heavy. And the next day comes about, a big fight breaks out. Y'all, let me tell you, this fight I broke down. This is what this video is most likely going to be about, is this fight. It was horrible. Bloody, just everywhere. So police crews arrived to the home 30 minutes or so after the fight. That's when the camera crew pulled up. And they were basically, I don't know how the police ended up leaving without charging anybody, but I guess they cooperated where, it is what it is. I don't know. But it showed Chrisean, it showed Blueface, the back of his head with a big old gash on the back of his head, and he had a paper towel, like, dabbing it, and then he put a hat over it. And then it shows Chrisean sitting in his car, his sports car. She's all bloodied up. Her hand is bleeding. Like, her face is all bruised up. Like, she just got through fighting. Like, I mean, this man beat her up, basically. And she's sitting in the car out of breath, tired, weak. And he told her, he straight up said to her, look at me. I'm a man. I got a cut in the back of my head. I'm going to put this paper towel on the back of my head, and I'm gonna put this hat on, but you sitting up there like a bee, and a bee as in, bitch. I'm not gonna say the word, but he was calling her a B word, and he was like, Blueface says, I'll put the paper towel on my head, you're good, stop acting like a bee. You sitting in the car. His exact words was, "You sitting in the car and act and be tired after a fight." Like, he mocks her. He mocks her injuries and basically told her to man up. Since you want to act like a man, man up. I thought you were super. I thought you were super hard. I thought you was tough. You acting like a little bee right now. He basically called her the B word in like 20 different ways in one sentence, pretty much. And she's sitting there saying, like, can you just leave me alone? Like, just give me a moment to myself. And he was like, I don't give a F about what hurts. I'm hurting too. No one cares about the men. They only care about the B word. And, look at her face. Look at her body. Like, he obviously socked her in the eye. And she got scratches all over her body. Her arms is all bruised up. Like, he only had a gash. So that just tell you who lost the fight, which was Chrisean. Chrisean clearly got the work from this man. And basically, he said, like, you gonna act like a man, I'm gonna fight you like a man. You gonna act like a B word, I'll treat you like a B word. But if you gonna act like a man, I'm gonna treat you like a man. And he told her, like, he was mad because she was out and about kissing another woman. So he was like, what you doing? Because if it was me, you'd be out here ready to fight me too. So I guess he fought her because she was, out with another woman. He was like, 1 minute you acting like a woman, 1 minute you acting like a man, but he used the N word instead, and so he was like, pick which side. He was like, I would treat you like whichever one you want to be. Pick one. Like, which one you want to be treated as. So apparently she hit him with glass on the back of his head, and that's what gave him the gash. Look at her, like, right? Look at this photo. Look at her. And he told her, you looking like a B word right now. And he continued to antagonize her. She said he calls her out her name all the time. And when she finally did, he set it off, which means they had a back and forth. He said something to her. She called him a B word, and he snapped. And he got mad, and she said he squeezed her hand. I'm assuming she had glass in her hand, and he squeezed her hand, and she hit him, and that's when the fight ensued and began with them. And she said, you call me out my name all the time. And she said, when I finally did, you set it off. And Blue says, to her, like, she needs to be a female. She seems like she wants to be a man. He told her she wants to be a man. We can fist fight all day. That was his exact words. She wants to be a man. We can fist fight all day. He beat her up. And then she called a friend, that same friend that I told you guys about earlier that enables her. He came with a bag, like 2 bags. And basically, he covered up her bruises. He gave her some sunglasses to cover up that black eye and the bruises on the side of her face. He gave her a long sleeve, crop top to cover up the bruises and scratches on her arms and shoulders. And, had her outfit and put her together to hide these bruises that he caused her. And I'm like, are you serious right now? So then he walks up in the house, dabbing up Blueface like, hey Blue. I'm like, are you serious? This girl seriously needs some real friends, because she should have not went back in that house, but obviously nobody is around her to really just help her out. And then even Blueface friend, they're like laughing about it, like he's not taking it serious. So she finally comes in and she's like, I'm not trying to argue with you. Then it just transitioned from her saying that to her like buttering up to him, trying to make it up to him, sitting next to him. He keeps calling her a B word, by the way. He keeps calling her a B word. Um, and she asked him, like, can you stop calling me that? And he tells her, like, what was that word? He saved me from a gash in my head and you're getting your A whooped. Like, I wrote this down in my notes, y'all, so y'all gonna have to excuse me. My handwriting is very sloppy. But, they both are pretty bruised up and beat up. And he said something that was so interesting, y'all. He said something that was so interesting and scary. He said, I call you a B all the time. I call you a B word all the time. I call it during sex. I call you a B word during sex. And he mimicked her. He mocked her. He goes, you say, don't call me that. And he goes, what kind of dry ass sex is that? Like, bruh, what? Like, I call you that all the time and you want to act like a baby about it. And she's like, he's trying to make her feel small in that moment. And she calls him out and says, you're trying to make me feel small. And so as she tries to get close to him, she's like, I'm not trying to argue. She keeps calling him baby. This man literally physically, y'all look at these photos. Take a good look at these photos. This man dragged and beat this woman up. And she is calling him baby. She's like trying to get close to him. And then she kissed him even. And then when he said his head hurts, right? Because this man probably has a concussion, okay? She offered him a shot. She's like, oh, your head hurt. Maybe did you take Tylenol? You got to take ibuprofen. You want to take some shots? Mind you, he has a huge bleeding gash on his head. And she offers him shots of alcohol because, as I've said before on this channel, she copes with alcohol. So she later laughed about him beating her up, and then she tries to pick glass out of his hair. Then that wasn't working. Then she tries to get a vacuum cleaner. Like, it was so ghetto. I'm like, a vacuum cleaner on a open wound? Like, what is going on? Like, seriously, this is so ghetto. This episode truly shows how broken these two are. And watching this just was very emotional, triggering. I mean, for those who've been in abusive relationships, like, this episode, to say the least, is very, very triggering for a lot of people because it really just showed how toxic these two are. It foreshadowed how this may end for these two. How Rock was just able to just laugh off abuse and Blueface sitting there with a gash in his head. No real people around them. And I think he realized how this would look. And he was also in pain. So then that's when he started saying that he's falling asleep. He doesn't feel well. He's laying down. So he finally leaves to get up to go to the hospital because one of his friends was like, hey, like, let's go. Let's try to get this checked out just in case if this is something serious. And this girl, Chrisean, gonna ask, why? Why are you going to the hospital? Like, she's really not grasping onto reality, how serious this situation and this fight was, because she asked this man who is bleeding from his head, why is he going to the hospital? Why is he leaving her to go to the hospital? And I'm going to show you this picture, y'all, and them in the car. This picture with them on the way to the hospital, it really, like, made me tear up. It made me tear up because look how broken these two look. Look. This picture right here for all those people that's saying they relationship goals and I want I want a woman like Rock. I want a woman that's going to stick beside me like Rock. You would not want this. This is not goals. This is not beautiful. This is destruction. This is dark. This is demonic. This relationship is very demonic. And for those who sit in there saying like, oh, it's not cute. This is the reality of the relationship. This is what really happens behind closed doors. And they hide it really well. But after so long, you can't hide that. You can't hide those war wounds. You can't hide the toxicity for too long. This is the reality of their relationship. This is what it really looks like. And if you think this is goals or this is normal, I'm telling you now, this is not normal. This is not nothing beautiful. This is a trauma bonding relationship. Okay? It's a trauma bonding relationship. These two are toxic and they have a lot of trauma from their childhood and they're bonding over it. They need each other in this moment. But the outside looking in, it's dangerous. And we could all look at their eyes. Look at his eyes. It's just like he's having a flashback of something from his childhood. You know, they go to the hospital. She's praying. She prayed to remove a bad spirit. Then they end up leaving the hospital because they told him he would need staples in his head. And he said, I ain't getting no staples. I'm leaving. So now he's walking around at risk of an infection with this big old gash on the back of his head. Why is no one talking about this? None of the blogs are talking about this. Nobody is addressing this issue. Nobody is addressing this fight, you know? So Wh00p, who is Blueface manager, pulls up to the house and is like, hey, I'm checking on you. TMZ is calling the label saying that you're in the hospital. What's going on? And so he comes outside and talks to him. And basically Wh00p foreshadows this relationship will ruin the both of them. This relationship will ruin the both of them, and that he needs to think about his kids first. Like, he's like, yeah, look, I know this is your girl, but you got to put your kids first. Because apparently they lost $2 million. Apparently nobody wants to work with Blueface anymore because of the domestic violence relationship between him and Rock. And he looks bad, and people are declining offers to work with him because it's not a good look. I mean, if I was a company and a brand, I wouldn't want him to work. I wouldn't want to work with him either. You know, and Rock was not happy about that convo at all. But something interesting happened, right? As this conversation was happening, Rock had this mirror scene where she's like putting on some like lip liner lipstick, right? And she says the words, hey, queen. She's talking to herself, by the way. She looks at herself in the mirror and goes, hey, queen, don't let him call you no B word again. Bust the head open again. All right, shawty? Got it. Like, let me repeat that again. Hey, queen, don't let him hit you. Don't let him call you a B again. Bust the head open again. All right, shawty? Got it. That's what she said to herself in the mirror. That's deep, y'all. That's deep. I don't know if that was her ego. I don't know if that was her inner voice. I don't know if that was, I don't know what that was, y'all. What do y'all think? What do y'all think that voice was? What do y'all think? That was that a demon? Was that like something possessing over her? Was that her higher self? Was that like, what was that? It was like she was talking to herself about the fight. One moment she's in front of him saying, oh, I'm sorry, babe, it's okay. Like, well, let's get over it, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I'll do it again. He called you a B word again. This man is, look, I'm usually fair, but this episode really made me feel a lot of sympathy for Chrisean. Although she plays a lot into her demise. But man, this girl is so broken. I think she's more broken than a lot of people are putting on. She's so broken, she needs psychiatric help. It's past the point of, oh, common sense, girl. You got the strength to pull this. She don't got it. She's not equipped with the strength to leave this relationship. She's really delusional about what this relationship actually looks like. She needs psychiatric help. She's so broken. She doesn't have a good grasp on reality. And Blueface is so broken and trauma bonding with this woman for whatever reason. He feels like he can't leave her. He can't walk away from her. He also is like trauma bonding with her. As much as we want to say he's in it. Behind closed doors, her way of knowing that Blueface love her is him beating her up about something. Him showing emotion. And a lot of women think like, oh, if a man shows anger and emotion, that means he loves me. That's how deep his love runs for me. But it's not. That love, that anger has nothing to do with love. Love is protection. Love is wanting to keep you safe. Love is looking out for you, the best interest of your image, the best interest of your health, physically, emotionally, mentally, all of that. They don't love each other. They think that it's love, but they're really just trauma bonded. And sometimes trauma bonding can feel like love. It can really feel like love. That's why they're so attached to each other. Like, I think the only person other than Blueface family and Chrisean Rock's family is Wh00p that's really like, hey, y'all, this is not going to end well. I'm trying to save your career, Blue. And he even tries to talk to Chrisean, and Chrisean's like, nah, when I win, he wins. It don't matter if his career is going down. It don't matter if he's losing $2 million because of me. His career will go up because I'm going up. That's how delusional she is. Y'all, this was so triggering. This episode was just spiritually, I need to do a spiritual cleanse because this was deep, and it was sad to see this girl not even pay no attention to the bruises on her face, the scratches on her, how broken she is and how broken he is. That he's just like calling her out her name, belittling her, manipulating the situation, calling her that during sex, calling her that in conversation. Obviously, she's made it very clear that she don't like being called that. And she even said, you don't listen to me. You don't listen to me. And he does not listen to her because he don't need to listen to her. Because what? He don't need to listen to her. He don't care what she's saying. Y'all, what do y'all think? I would love to know your comments below. This was so crazy to watch. I will be tuning in to the next episode 5, to see what they're sitting down to talk to Blueface family, mother and sister with Chrisean Rock, and we're going to see how that goes. Apparently, he gets in a fight with somebody. But this relationship is just straight up chaotic. And people even said, like, I can't believe this was even, like, shown on TV. But it's Zeus Network. You know, you paying to see it. I don't know how this was approved, but this was very disturbing to watch. Let me know your comments below. What are your thoughts? Are you feeling for Chrisean? Are you, feeling for Blueface? Like, how do you think this is going to end for them? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I'll join you guys in the comment section. I would love to hear your comments. Make sure you hit the like button for more content in the future, and thanks for watching. Bye.